Welcome to your Tech News Today, where we keep you informed and empowered by giving you the latest tech stories that impact your daily life. It's Friday, March 8th. I'm Mike James. Coming up in just a bit, if you use this browser, you need to make sure it's up to date as soon as possible. Then, just as Mark Zuckerberg says Facebook is going to be more privacy focused, we find out more apps have been sending your data to Facebook. Plus, new AI will decide if you're going to shoplift. Really? And Apple is making it easier for you to get your iPhone repaired. We'll get started in just a moment. First, we'd like to recognize our partners who help make this Commando podcast possible. Well, we start with a big flaw with Google Chrome that could put you at risk from hackers. One of the worst issues software developers face is what's known as a zero-day attack, and they're devastating for one reason, because they're flaws that are already being exploited by hackers before developers are even aware of them. And Google Chrome recently had one of those zero-day flaws, one that cyber crooks had already been attacking since last week. Can't they find anything better to do? It was a bad flaw, too. It would allow hackers to slip malicious code through the browser security and run commands on your device's operating system. Google kicked out an update to patch the flaw pretty quickly, and the Chrome browser on your devices should have automatically updated, but better to be safe than sorry, so double check on that. From the settings menu, just tap or click on Help, and then About Google Chrome, and it'll check to see if it's running the most recent version, which is 7.2.0.3626.121. Say that again, 0.0.3626.121. Check out Commando.com for more information on that. And on the heels of Mark Zuckerberg's revelation about privacy and how to change Facebook, yet another case of big data collection. And a story is breaking. USA Today reporting that in December, an international watchdog found that a lot of popular Android apps automatically send data to Facebook. I'd really like to say I'm surprised, but, I don't think nobody is really surprised. A UK-based nonprofit called Privacy International analyzed 34 Android apps that had anywhere between 10 million to 500 million installs, and 2/3 had been sending your information to the Zuckerberg empire. And maybe you're thinking, well, that's all right, I don't even have a Facebook account. Well, guess what? These apps were sending your data to Facebook regardless of whether you had an account or not. One of the popular apps was Yelp, along with a language app called Duolingo, and more. Even some of their iOS counterparts might have been doing the same thing, according to the group. The watchdog group has since told European regulators and contacted companies behind those apps. Some of those apps have since stopped sharing your data with Facebook. The new Facebook will be privacy-focused, Zuckerberg says. And if this is any indication, then take his words with a grain of salt, to say the least. It doesn't look like the old data mining version of Facebook will ever be going away anytime soon. I remember, that's how they make money. Just ahead, watch your body language the next time you're out shopping, or you may be pegged as a shoplifter. And Apple is being unusually kind when it comes to iPhone repairs. Right now, let me tell you about our partners at Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos. All commission-free, plus there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. And with Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss an opportunity to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of Tech News a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you get started. Just sign up at money.robinhood.com. Again, that's money.robinhood.com. In the future, when you go to the grocery store, better keep your body language in check, or artificial intelligence could think you're a shoplifter. It's not quite China-level surveillance, but according to Bloomberg Quint, a Japanese startup is peddling new software to retailers that monitors security video, looking for suspicious behavior. Things like fidgeting and restlessness. And like the movie Minority Report, they hope to catch you before you commit the actual crime. Here's how it works. Most retailers these days already have camera systems hooked up. And in this new software, its algorithms will look for nervous body language. If you're looking particularly shady that day, it's going to notify store staff through an app. The company that makes it plans to be in 100,000 stores across Japan within the next 3 years, saying they're just discovering the market potential. Interesting. They haven't said if they're trying to sell it to retailers in the United States, but just in case, be careful how you eyeball that Snickers bar. Strange move by Apple this week. They're all of a sudden unusually helpful to their customers. If tech companies were high school principals, Apple was usually the most strict. Follow the rules or else you're going to detention forever. And they've lightened up when it comes to some iPhone repairs. In the past, if you went into an Apple store because something was wrong with your phone, then it had better be exactly like it was when you took it out of the box. Because if technicians at the store or an Apple authorized service provider took your phone apart and then found that you had a third-party part in there, like a screen or a battery, then your iPhone was shunned, blacklisted for any repairs by Apple. But apparently not anymore. They started repairing iPhones with third-party screens back in 2017. And now, even if you have an iPhone with a battery that wasn't made by Apple, you can get it repaired at the Genius Bar or other authorized service provider. That's according to some internal documents that MacRumors and others got their hands on. So yeah, if you got issues with, say, your display or speakers, they'll work on it. And if that aftermarket battery's gone bad, they will be able to replace it with a new Apple battery at the usual fee, of course. And here's what's extra generous. If you tried to install the battery yourself and broke the battery tabs, those technicians could even replace your whole iPhone for the cost of a battery replacement. But that's on a case-by-case basis. It might be Apple still trying to make amends for that whole throttling your iPhone debacle a while back, but still, it's a nice gesture. Almost too nice. Hey, are you an avid gamer? You're hired. At least that's the new trend. Some hiring managers are actually looking at your video game experience when they're trying to decide whether or not to hire you. Yeah, that antisocial stigma usually associated with playing video games is taking a big turn. Wall Street Journal reporting that employers across a lot of industries are looking at your gaming history for potential traits that are useful in today's workplace. Things like online collaboration with others, organization, and problem-solving skills. And plus, just plain being able to adapt. Take Justin Foner. Last year, he got a job at General Electric. He was big into role-playing video games and even studied video game design and development at an IT school. Well, now at GE, the Wall Street Journal says he's using virtual reality tech to train robots to do things like inspect oil rigs and nuclear power plants. It's a cultural shift, and these recruiters know games keep getting more and more complex, which means that players need to adapt to the advancements. But you can't just say you play video games on your resume. You've got to tell the story, show them what skills you've learned playing games and how they'll translate to the job that you're applying for. Just because you're good at building things in Minecraft doesn't mean you're going to land the job as an architect. Coming up in just a moment, if you don't have a video doorbell yet, now might be the time, and how one automaker is going out of their way to troll others about the screens being added to cars. Right now, a quick thank you to our friends who help make this podcast possible. Well, if you haven't made the jump into video doorbells, now's a good time, especially if you're into stylish ways for visitors to let you know that they're at your door. Of course, dumb doorbells are a thing of the past. Video doorbells are in, but can look pretty boring. Maybe you want your doorbell to pop with some color. Company August just released a new video doorbell this week, and at first glance, it's pretty underwhelming. It's rectangular, camera on top, button at the bottom, pretty standard. Like some on the market, this one's wireless, so if you've got doorbell wiring that might be incompatible with the techie alternative, or if you live in an apartment, this is the best way to go. But batteries only last so long. This one is rechargeable, though, and supposed to last 3 to 6 months on a charge. It hits the market on March 28th and goes for $230. That's the same price as the Nest Hello video doorbell. It's also got a monthly fee if you want video stored for more than one day. The difference, the August camera has a slightly higher resolution, but it's also flashy, as in you've got 8 different color choices for the faceplate, from black all the way to bright red. So if you're in search of a doorbell that'll coordinate with your outfit, look no further. Car maker Kia isn't being shy when it comes to built-in screens. At the Geneva Motor Show, they decided to show off their EV concept car called the Imagine. So imagine this, they added an array of 21 LCD screens all the way from one side of the dash to the other. It kind of looks like a row of dominoes just waiting to be knocked down. The head of their interior design team told The Verge that they took liberties with this one. Yeah, they did. He also said that they were looking to, quote, polarize a bit. Even Kia's press release conveyed their sense of humor. They threw in nearly 24 screens to point out the industry's current obsession with ever-increasing dashboard screens. Well played, Kia. And now they don't have any plans to produce this particular screen-infested car. You're just going to have to use your imagination, hence the clever name. They just wanted to raise some eyebrows about their brand. Mission accomplished. By the way, once you're done listening to our podcast, do us a favor and tell your friends about us. It helps more people find us, and we do thank you for that. Finally, for today's Commando Kicker, many people use simple passwords or ones that have rearranged words of their favorite football teams. You might think that something complicated like JI32K7AU4A83 would be a great password. However, it's actually pretty popular, and the I've Been Pwned repository has seen that password over 100 times. But why is this specific password so popular? Well, the answer is that it isn't in English. The password actually comes from a system for translating Mandarin Chinese. Translated, that password means my password. Well, now we know it isn't just Americans with bad password habits. People all around the world have them as well. For more fun and interesting facts, go to thecommando.com and search for the Commando Kicker. And that's your tech news today. If you enjoyed it, check out our other digital updates. You'll get tons of great information, like our consumer tech update packed with facts, opinion, and introducing you to the latest going on in tech underneath the surface. Thanks for listening to the Commando Tech News today, and we'll see you next time.